to Australia, and I'm counting myself as her first true Aussie friend. I, however, don't take any responsibility. I feel like the mic's not. Oh yeah, it's on. Cool. I, however, take no responsibility for any of her Aussieisms that she's picked up over those 5 years. Not everyone will know this, but Fran actually came into my life as my manager. I'll never forget the first meeting with her. I'd been told by my boss to be on my best behaviour and really sell the team, as we were desperate and we really needed her. I thought she was so mature and obviously stunning, but little did I know we'd become great friends. And so it appeared that we'd also made a good impression on her, or Fran was just also really desperate. She took the job. And just like that, Fran, you came into my life and we've never looked back. I'm so lucky to have you in my life and so honoured to be a part of your day today. I've been blessed to get to know you and the whole Sissel family, who are amazing and so kind. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and Fran, you've definitely got the best of both Rob and Karen. You've got Rob's business mind and Karen's beauty and style, and you've got both of their sass. And so, without further ado, we're going to throw to Rob, who's going to say a few words.
Good afternoon and welcome to Gordon and Fran's wedding. I live in Thailand, and I was explaining to a mate of mine the other day that I was worried that I might get a little bit tearful when I spoke. So he gave me some advice, and he said for me to just write on my hand how much the wedding had actually cost, and that should sort out that feeling. So I did actually, and I did look at it just before standing here, and to be honest, it has just reduced me to tears. I was reflecting that I could have bought Neymar Jr. for less, but now it's rather ironic at weddings that it's the father of the bride that gets to speak, when in most cases it's actually the mother of the bride who's had the most profound effect on her daughter and indeed her children's lives. And actually as a family we're no different, and Fran, Becky and James have been truly blessed to have had the most wonderful mum. And there's a lovely quote that really explains better than I can ever say the role that Karen has played in their lives. Motherhood is not a competition to see who has the smartest kid, the cleanest home, the healthiest dinners, the nicest clothes. Well, to be honest, I disagree with that. Motherhood is your journey with your children, and Karen has made that journey every day of every year of their lives. So as I speak today, I do so on behalf of both Karen and I, in recognition of the wonderful mum that she is. So look, all dads will know that we have a problem with our daughters, because it doesn't really matter how old your daughter is. You always look at her through time-lapse glasses. So to me, Fran remains in my mind always as my little girl, and she knows it. And she also knows that little comment of, "Oh daddy," is almost certainly going to get a yes from me, whatever the question is. And it does work every time, every time. I'm not sure if you know, but from babies I've given a nickname for each of the kids. Fran is Miggy, Becky is Spiky, and James, this will be a joy for him, is Jungle. No surprise on the James front, I suspect, for those that watched him jump 15 metres off a cliff with Richard on Tuesday after about 30 gin and tonics. But, now Fran has evolved her understanding of Miggy over time and morphed it into something she feels more appropriate. But I can tell you that Miggy came from Mrs. Miggin's pie shop in Blackadder, and it was born out of her voracious appetite as a child. And to be honest, she would eat just about anything or anybody. You know, I'm pleased to say that the gym, a balanced diet, the need to be competitive with Gordon and her gang has made her a mini Miggy today. So there's a reason I got the grappa, because I know at some point I'll start blubbing and then the grappa will just cure everything. But there comes a point, a moment that every father sort of celebrates and dreads really, when the time comes to hand over the baton, the Fran baton, to another guy. And actually you realise that you're no longer the most important man in your daughter's life anymore. And today, it's my turn to pass the Fran baton to Gordon. Mixed emotions, to be honest.
Thanks.
No, not about you. Fran wrote me a lovely letter and sent it to me. I decided to have an hour's quiet this afternoon, and she sent me a letter, and I spent the hour crying, not getting into control. But mixed emotions, a combination of pride, a little sadness, and to be honest, a big woohoo! You know, good luck, Gordon, mate. Yeah. So Gordon, when you spoke to me about marrying Fran, you asked me what I thought, and I said that in my opinion, if Fran waited 1,000,000 years, she wouldn't find a guy half as good as you, and I meant it. I really did mean it. But Gordon, I would also say to you, as I pass over the Fran baton to you, that the same thought very much applies to Fran. She's very, very special, and you need to look after her. All right? She's not perfect, of course. Her need to plan everything weeks in advance and then detail it down on a spreadsheet is always a joy. Especially for me, as I fly in for the weekend after a 9-hour flight, and I receive my detailed itinerary often by the hour. Or of course the impatience and sometimes short temper that she has regrettably picked up from me. But, yeah. Fortunately, Gordon, as we heard earlier, you are the perfect foil. You're calm, you're measured, you're loving, always. And a lesson in moderation that we, and probably especially me, should all learn from. One point, though, Gordon, just in case you should slip at any point and start to think it's a marriage of equals. Big mistake, all right? Remember the 2 rules of marriage. Rule number 1, your wife is always right. Rule number 2, when you feel she is wrong, slap yourself, get a grip and read rule number 1 again. And I think it's also very important that you learn and understand the 5 deadly terms used by a woman. You need to listen to this. I'm going to share this with you all now. So the first one is fine, right? I want to be clear, this doesn't mean fine, all right? This is the word women use to end an argument when they know they're right and frankly you need to shut up, all right? Word number 2, nothing, right? It means something and you need to be really, really worried when the nothing word is used, all right? Third one, well, we've all heard it. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to be very clear here, right? This is not. This is a dare, all right? It's not permission. Do not do it. Fourth one we've all heard. Yeah, whatever. It's very, very simply a woman's way of saying screw you. Okay? And of course the bonus word. And you need to remember this. Wow. Yeah, wow. This is not a compliment, all right? She is simply amazed that one person can be so bloody stupid, all right? So, now I'm sure that none of these apply to Gordon and Fran, and the relationship works because of the love, understanding and care between 2 really great people. And you know, I'm really sure it forms the base for a long and very happy marriage. As long as Gordon remembers the 2 rules and the 5 words. So, Gordon and Fran are married, but there are no guarantees. And as the famous American humorist Emma Bombeck said, marriage has no guarantees. If that's what you want, marry a car battery. But we can clearly do better than that, because we've got 2 people who marry very much as soulmates, and I prefer this last quote, which I feel really applies to Gordon and Fran. And we heard a little bit of it earlier. Marriage is getting to have a sleepover with your best friend every night. So besties are married. I get to pass over the Fran baton. Good luck, Gordon. And finally, on behalf of Karen and I, please raise your glasses and toast the bride and groom. Thank you. I didn't need the grappa, but I'll drink them anyway.
So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Karina and I've been friends with Fran for about 8 years now. We bonded over a love of fashion and travel, and unfortunately we both share the same affliction. Fran and I are both sufferers of resting bitch face. Now, if we give you an evil tonight, please do not take it personally. We don't mean it, we can't help it, and it probably means that we like your outfit. Now, over the years, Fran and I have made some amazing memories, and I've also got to know and love the Sissel clan as well. You guys, Fran is a true testament to you as a family. You all look absolutely stunning today. Now, Gordon, what can I see? It has been so nice getting to know you these last few years. It really has been. And getting to know your family this week as well has been amazing. I can completely see where you get your Scottish charm from, Sunny Jim. But in all seriousness, thank you so much for making my best friend the happiest girl in the world. I have absolutely no understanding, but you guys will literally have the best life ever. It's amazing to see your love. So I'm going to pass over the baton to the lovely Gordon.
Right, I'm on a strict 5-minute time limit. Fran. Yeah, start. I want to start off. All right. Sorry for reading this as well. So I want to make sure I say the things that I want to say. So I'm going to be reading this. Is this on? Yeah. Yep. All right. First of all, thank you, Rob, for your toast and kind words, and also just to say it's an absolute privilege to be able to be welcomed into your family. I've read up on the do's and don'ts of a groom speech. First one was avoid getting too drunk beforehand. James, didn't really get the memo, did you? And two, don't try and be too funny. Well, that should be pretty easy with me. And as you saw earlier, obviously I'm getting a little bit more emotional as I grow older, so there's guaranteed to be some tears, so please bear with me. I might take a little pause every now and again, as long as it's within the 5-minute time cap. So 5-minute time lap, here we go. So on behalf of my wife and I, that's the first line of every single groom speech. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for the mammoth effort in getting here. It's it's really humbling. There he goes already. And also for generous gifts, and each and every one of you, you've shared and supported us the entire journey so far, so we really are appreciative of it. Obviously the location is fantastic. It's really humbling to see so many people in this location. It's it's a beautiful place. It's obviously great to see families old and new, families coming together, friends old and new coming together as well. So it's really great to see everyone here, and we really appreciate the effort that everyone's made to get here. In case you're wondering, even though Francesca is called Francesca, we don't come from these parts. I clearly don't come from these parts. But I just do hope that you understand that we really wanted a destination wedding, and I don't think you could get a better setting than this. So so thank you from the bottom of our hearts to everyone for coming such a distance. First of all, to Rob and Karen, I'd like to thank you both for the incredible job you've done raising Francesca. Fran is fun-loving, generous, ambitious, and kind to the core. And I really do see both your qualities in her. Karen, Kaz. I'm pretty sure you spent more time in Australia than the Australian Prime Minister over the last 3 years. But we do love having you in Sydney, and it's been great for me because I've got the chance to really bond with you. So keep on coming, don't listen to what Fran says. And also, thanks from the bottom of our hearts. You guys have done an amazing job. Just the sheer volume of stuff that yourself and Becky have done over the past 2 or 3 months has been ridiculous. So thank you very much. And I think the most important thing, keeping Fran sane. So there's been a lot of people that's kept Fran on the straight and narrow. So massive thanks to them. It's really not easy. As Rob says, obviously asking Fran's hand in marriage was very nerve-wracking for me. I got a little bit of a helping hand by John Black over there. I was delaying it and delaying it and then delaying it, and you know, I think I even said to James, the brother beforehand, I'm going to ask for your sister's hand in marriage. He's like, oh, get it done then, seriously. But it will be a moment I'll never forget. The words that he just said right now, that was the exact words he said to me at the time. And again I went, oh. It's a common theme. Look, I know that Fran means the world to you, and it means everything to us that we've got your blessing. This line's going to be hard. Mushrooms, that's the safe word. Today you haven't lost a daughter but gained a son.
Oh, that was nice. You're welcome, darling.
Where's the mushrooms? So on behalf of both of us, we can't thank you enough for your generosity in making sure today is everything we could have dreamed of and more. So yes, on to my childhood. It was one I loved every single moment of, wouldn't change it for the world. My sister and I, we had a really typical brother-sister relationship. Love-hate. She would always win the fight because she was 5'10" and I was 4'3". So my only form of attack was to try and get her lost in shopping centres, and I was really good at it. I was like, Michelle, come and see this. She would never make it back. But in all seriousness, we've grown close over the years, and she's grown to be an amazing mother, wife, friend, and sister. I love you, sis. Pause, mushrooms. Must also recognise my little niece and nephew, our ring bearer and flower girl, Reese and Mia. They've done a great job today, and they looked very pretty and very handsome. They've done a great job and made me very proud. All right, Dad, thank you very much for passing on some of your best qualities. Your patience, that's where I get it from, and it's much needed. Kindness, and ensuring I have a decent head of hair at 34. So thanks for that. And thank you to you, Margaret. You've looked after my dad for the past 20 odd years.
I have, Sonny.
As well as the countless homemade Mr. Kipling apple pies.
I know.
At every Sunday lunch. So thank you for that.
Gordon, they were handmade.
That's all about. Ian, stroke Panda, you're infectious to be around. Thank you for always letting me beat you at golf. As well as the many years of laughter and horrendous dad jokes, many of which I'm sharing across Australia today. A sign of maturity. Oh, here we go, the crier. To my mother, a special thanks. I've always been a total mummy's boy, and you've played a huge part in shaping me into bring it together. Another one. Shaping me into the man I've become. You've taught me to be respectful, work hard, and believe that I could be whoever or whatever I wanted to be. Thanks for supporting me to follow my dreams, even if it meant moving to the opposite side of the globe. I know it must be really difficult to come to terms with the fact that you've raised the perfect son. Got it back. Little Becky Sissel, you look as beautiful as ever today. You've done again so much in the lead up to our big day, and we love you very much, and just want to say thank you so much for everything that you've done. And we can't wait to become aunt and uncle to a little bump later on this year. I'd also like to thank our usher, who often plays the most underrated part of a wedding. I like to think of them as a BD. No one really knows what they do, but they add a touch of class. In all seriousness, so I'm really glad I've gained you as a brother. So yeah, it's been really good getting to know you over the past 6 months in Sydney. To the bride tribe, you know who you are. You're a great bunch of girls and are also important to Fran and I. Thanks for being there for us as a couple. And to the Sydney lot especially, thanks for getting our home safe and sound after our hen party. Just. And also a special thank you goes to Hannah Banana and Louisa for the readings during the ceremony. It meant a lot that you accepted to do that. You almost made me cry at the altar as well, thank you. And that'll be a really nice memory for us for years to come. So we've been planning this wedding for over a year now, although it does seem like a lifetime. I say we, really Fran did a lot of the meticulous planning as per usual. But I did say that I'd sort out the weather, so I pretty much nailed it. But as it was said earlier, today wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for our amazing planner, Hannah, up the back there. Harry and Megan's royal wedding set the bar pretty high, but you've truly outdone yourself. So yeah, thank you very much. You've created the wedding of our dreams. So on to my two best men. Where are you?
Be careful.
You've got a real reply.
Little and large, Shrek and Donkey, fats and small. I'll let you work out which one is which. Our friendship goes back further than JB's hairline. Oh, sorry. We've shared some unbelievable experiences together over the years. I know how lucky I am to have my two best mates in Sydney. And I'd be lost without you boys, truly would be. Thank you to both of you for being the most loyal mates a guy could ever ask for. And a special thank goes to Connor for not wearing socks today and putting some pressed powder on it. It was really difficult, but I'm really glad you decided to do it. This leads me to the star of the show, my beautiful wife, Francesca. Yeah, the moment I turned around today to see you walk down the aisle was just breathtaking. It'll live with me forever. And Fran's been trying to talk to me about her dress, but I've just been saying, I don't want to know, I just want to see you on that day and get that feeling that every groom wants to get. I was blown away. And I do feel like the luckiest guy on the planet right now. For those of you that don't know how we met in a CrossFit gym. First set eyes on Fran, and she was a hot sweat mess. Every day, once we finished a workout, I tried to chat to her. She used to ignore me. Went on for a few weeks until I eventually ground her down. And every single day, she'd disappear into the changing room, and I used to look forward to her coming back out and seeing the transformation, as I used to call it, every single day. It's only now that she tells me she was trying to impress me, so it worked. Fran, you really are my everything. There's no words to begin. Just how much you mean to me. I can't put it into words. You're beautiful, caring, generous, driven. What does the next bit say? But seriously, you are my best friend. Sorry, boys, and I can't imagine my life without you. And I'm so excited about our futures together. So without further ado, I would like to all be upstanding once again as I propose a toast to my beautiful wife. Thank you for becoming my happily ever after. To Francesca. Thank you very much.
Now, I'm a firm believer that all things happen for a reason, so I really need to give a huge thank you to CrossFit for bringing these two amazing humans together. Frank the Tank, as Fran has been known to go by. I've lost track of how much you lift these days, I'm sure it's loads. All I can say is thank you for your love of intense fitness because it's brought you to Gordon. And Gordon, thank you so much for walking into Fran's life and making her the happiest girl in the world and genuinely making her smile every day. So without further ado, I'm going to throw to the bride for a few words.
I'm sorry, I have to read off this because it's not too long, but there's a few important things I want to say. So, those of you who know me well will not be surprised that I have something to say. Those of you who don't know me so well will soon realise that I can't keep quiet for probably more than 3 minutes at a time. So, to echo all the fantastic speeches before me and to come, thank you for everybody for making the trip to Italy to celebrate with us. I can't express how grateful I am to have your help, support and friendship in my life. To Gordon's family, I also want to thank you for welcoming me into your families and trusting me to take care of your son. To my mum and dad, Karen and Rob, thank you just doesn't seem enough. Every year that I grow older, I become more and more appreciative of everything you have ever done for me, and for all of your personal sacrifices to give Becky, James and I the best of opportunities. I will never be able to repay you. All I can hope is that I make you proud one day. All I can hope is that I make you proud by one day giving my own children the same love and devotion that I have always been shown. Dad, you have been there at every moment I've had to let go in order to grow into my own life. From me leaving home and going to university, going travelling and moving to Australia, my first heartbreak, one of many, counselling me through my professional life, and now to meeting me here in Italy to walk me down the aisle. You have influenced my life in so many ways that it is impossible to do it justice. Your faith, confidence, and unwavering support have moved mountains in my life. You are an incredible person, but most importantly for me, the perfect father. Mum, where do I start? I think everyone will agree you are definitely one of a kind. I wouldn't have you any other way. You have given me everything I have ever wanted and never asked for anything in return. Becky, James and I have learnt a lot from you. You have always encouraged us to go over what we want, even if that meant me moving over the other side of the world. You have taught us to dress the part. It is safe to say I have a very extensive shoe collection and clothing. And most importantly, you have taught us that life doesn't always go as planned. But we must carry on and believe in ourselves. Your patience and tough love has made me into the woman I am now, and I hope that one day I will be the mum you were to us. Becky, I have loved how we've grown closer over the years gone by. James and I are pretty lucky to have a sister like you, and I am eternally grateful for everything you have done, not only for the wedding, but just generally in life. From calling up my ex-boyfriends and giving them a good talking to. One of them actually emailed me once and asked me if he could, if my sister could actually stop pestering him. Thanks.
He said abusing.
Yeah, abusing actually was the word. To advising me on all things beauty and fashion. You are truly a special human. I know you would do anything for me, and that means the world to me. Lastly, to my new husband, Gordon, I think we will both agree that when we first met, it was at a time that neither of us believed in love. But on our first date, I knew we had something special. It wasn't the perfect first date. In fact, you actually asked me to pick you up in a cab. True gentleman. And I later found out that you'd actually organised the whole evening an hour prior to me collecting you. But you being you, pulled it off and we laughed all night. You came into my life and completely changed it. Over the past few years, you have given me everything I never thought I would have or deserve. Thank you for putting up with me and coping with my fabulous mood swings. Thank you for loving me and always being there for me. You are the love of my life, my best friend, and now my husband. Drawing this to a close, so I'm going to wrap this up pretty quickly. I wanted to share one of my favourite quotes with you by Emily Bronte, who said of marriage, "Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same." I couldn't agree more. Thank you.
Oh, I'm just quite sure no one's in it. That would be too much for the people going to paint them.
You look amazing, you sounded amazing, and I'm sure my resting bitch face is off the chart. So, before we move on to the highly anticipated main event of the evening, the best man speeches.
Go for it, boys.
Yeah. I thought it might be fun to do some fun facts about the best men. Kind of on, Team Gordon over here. So James and Gordon have been friends since they were wee. They lived 5 doors down from each other and have been inseparable ever since. Not brothers by birth, but brothers by choice. Connor was a late addition to the trio. He joined in 2005 in Dublin, and they haven't been able to shake him off since. Now, interestingly, Connor has something in common with some Hollywood legends. The likes of Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, and his idol Tiger Woods. Connor has been a guest at one of Hollywood's prestigious establishments, and that is the LA County Jail. Now, maybe even better than that, Connor can't seem to remember why he was arrested. However, he does have an amazing mugshot as a memento, and Gordon and I do have copies on our phone that we'd be happy to show you.
T-shirts.
Now, James has always been the most reliable friend to Gordon. And by reliable, I mean he will always get wasted. Some of James's epic fails include offending the mother of the bride, we have here Karen, on their first meeting. He has also nearly failed to board a plane due to being too intoxicated. And perhaps his pièce de résistance has to be the fact that he was escorted from his own wedding. Now, Hannah, his lovely wife here, is always keen to say that it was their second wedding. However, he has set the bar very low for Gordon, which I know he's very appreciative of. Now, the boys have a really interesting drinking game that they like to play when they get together. One that I was happy to witness when we went to Greece a couple of summers ago. And they will go to the bar and they will see all the bottles lined up on the shelves, and they will pick each other a drink, and it might be, right, the 4th bottle along, 3 shelves down, and they will take a shot of that drink. Now, Gordon and I thought it would be really fun today to give you guys a little taste of that game and some Dutch courage before you got up here and did your speeches. So I've arranged 2 shots here for you, gentlemen. And this is 6 bottles along, 4 rows down. So enjoy. Bottles up.
Thanks, Karina.
And I will hand over to the handsome duo.
That's probably the nicest thing in the last one. So James and I have been sitting down, we've been thinking about this for a while, and we've been thinking about all the stories that we can or can't say. And we've come up with a few that we thought, okay, well, at least will amuse us or you, and they've kind of taken us through a lot of our life. Plus, you'll probably ask how we end up surviving through some of them, not least the LA one. Also, thank you for that one. I'll make sure to return that favour. It's a list of stories that took us across several countries and 2 continents, from the UK, Ireland, Germany, and way down to Australia. We kind of think they're good stories because mostly they're really going to embarrass Gordon.
The difficulty was when we wrote down stories and analysed them in detail, some of them weren't too suited to this audience. So looking at the bright light of day, we've gone through stories. Many were even more gritty than we remembered and involved quite a few personal matters and activities ranging from dangerous to downright stupid.
So we've tried to kind of tone down the seamier aspects of Gordon's life and try to keep it as family friendly as possible. But feel free to read between the lines as we progress our little travelogue across the world, right up to today, when Gordon has married his idol, Fran.
All 3 of us, Gordon and I, have known each other for the longest. When we were children, as Karina noted, my family moved into Gordon's old house after he settled in another house across the road, 5 doors down. Gordon grew in me, and before I knew it, he was the annoying younger brother I never wanted. We were very young at the time, and even back then I remember him as a skinny Rangers fan, interested almost to the point of obsession in fancy cars, and had, or should I say has, a similar taste in women. I didn't know then, but those three loves, football, cars and girls, were going to feature heavily in everything we did. As is usual for mates growing up in a small Scottish town, we stuck very much together, even moving in the same direction by taking jobs in the Bank of Scotland. But before we decided to embrace our obvious love of money through stellar banking careers, Gordon tried his hand in other professions, including a stint in co-op and a local car dealership, where his career was unfortunately cut short when his boss realised his poor driving skills and parking skills were costing too much in repairs. So he was off to the bank, which, I must say, very nearly ended in disaster when he started getting very friendly with the boss's daughter, if you know what I mean. And wasn't that typical of Gordon? It was about this time his neighbours called the police to his house, convinced he was killing himself through carbon monoxide poisoning. Of course, he was just mucking about very noisily in his car with the lady of the month. Still, life wasn't all friendly relations on a desk at the Bank of Scotland, or causing noise complaints from the neighbours. There were moments he tried to act mature, including the time he and a mate bought a rundown house to renovate. Unfortunately, the renovation approach was typically Scottish, and likely to draw unwelcome attention from the law, such as altering the front window of the house with a massive replacement stolen from a building site. Despite a few near misses, we all did well at the bank, and it wasn't long before we found ourselves in Dublin, where we met Connor.
Yay! We all hit it off almost immediately, and it wasn't long before we were fast and firm friends. Early 20s and living the high life on the bank's money. I think Gordon was a little homesick in those early days. It was the first time he'd been away from his mum Jeanette, and the two of them are really close. No. But he soon got used to our new lifestyle after we moved into a penthouse in an exclusive Dublin suburb and started acting like young men around town that we thought we were, with lots of the bank's cash to throw around and not a care in the world. Gordon particularly took to the lifestyle of the rich and glamorous, becoming so obsessed with his hair that he couldn't walk past a mirror without stopping, admiring his image or making a quick adjustment. Even to the point where if somebody touched his hair, his night was over and he went home.
We should mention here, his grooming went further than his head, which is the only place he tolerated hair, which still holds true today. Gordon's wedding preparation consisted of a facial, a back facial, whatever that back facial is, a manicure, a pedicure, a chest wax, and a toe wax. And luckily you've all finished eating, so...
Anyway, life was pretty good in Dublin. We drank, we partied, we played jokes. And of course Gordon was still getting up to his old tricks. Sometimes in the back of a moving van. And once having to administer a rather unpleasant insect removal cream after getting to know a girl from work. For some reason, Gordon decided to confess that same medical issue to his mum the day after James's wedding. Still not quite sure why. All good things must come to an end, and we soon found ourselves shifting again to the small town of Halifax in England.
There's no doubt good career moves for moving to Halifax, although Connor and I sometimes think the reason for Gordon needing to leave Ireland was to avoid arrest and prosecution for all the parking tickets he had amassed over his time. Whatever the reason for a move, it turned to be a world away from a high-flying life in Dublin. I hope not to insult anyone here, I don't think I am, but Halifax is a drab little town, almost always wet, constantly grey, and to make matters worse, for a time we were stuck in appalling work accommodation, until Gordon and I saw good sense and moved into a flat together. So we had to find ways of amusing ourselves, which this time included Gordon and I joining a local football team. I can tell you now, as a footballer, Gordon makes a good banker. He was an angry player, not so much angry at the opposing team, as with himself for being completely shit. Off the field though, there were usual shenanigans. Like the time Gordon and I talked a girl into having a party back at her place after a night out. Well, it was all innocent.
Totally innocent.
Innocent. Innocent. Just a few drinks. We still felt obliged to hide in the girl's bedroom the next morning when a boyfriend came unexpectedly calling. My best memory of Halifax was a nightclub where Gordon worked part-time to save some cash. It wasn't particularly a great club, but it sticks in my mind because Gordon was such a poor barman. He accidentally kept giving Connor and me free drinks until the bouncer said we couldn't be controlled and we had to be thrown out.
Not being able to take Halifax anymore, Gordon and I left Crew James behind and we moved to Heidelberg in Germany. It's anything but dull. We got to travel to lots of different European countries and even managed to get held hostage in a strip club in Budapest. I must say, Gordon did his best to try to fit in wherever he was. He even learned the local German language. Sorry, Paul. So he could better communicate with the locals. At least he tried. There was one night when Gordon was on a date with a nice German girl, and Gordon thought, you know, I've spent a lot of time in class. I'm gonna practice my German, and he thought I'll ask for some chewing gum. Unfortunately, Gordon's German then asked instead for a condom. Pretty sure that girl's not going to forget that dessert. Germany was also where Gordon started going to the gym, and it's since become a major part of his life, where eventually he would meet Fran. It also means that he's bulked up a bit and no longer needs to worry about hiding his chicken legs, so traumatized him and many others in the world's beaches and football pitches alike.
Which of course brings us to our next stop on the world tour, and a place where he met the love of his life, Fran in Sydney, Australia. The global financial crisis hit UK and Europe pretty hard by this time, and Gordon and I decided to take a break and travel around Australia, backpacking, like so many before us. And within 9 months, Connor found he couldn't live without us, and was soon down in Sydney. The move has suited Gordon well. He fits in well with Australia's laid-back society. If you don't count repeatedly getting sunburnt under the Australia's hot sun, especially his waxed feet, or losing what must now be thousands of dollars worth of sunglasses. Since moving to Sydney, Gordon has lived under our stairs, sleeping in a large beanbag. He's got an awesome tattoo, including a back-to-front compass, so don't trust Gordon with directions.
Sorry, pal.
He almost turned vegan for a woman and lived in the world's smallest flat. Was embarrassed by his 30th birthday present of a fattogram. Gordon seen the Ashes being played at the Adelaide Oval, where he tried to put his own willy in a fast spinning fan. Until luckily someone stopped him. I think Fran was that person more than one drink.
But despite all the fun and adventure the three of us had, the best thing to ever happen to Gordon is Fran. She's had a great influence in his life, even bringing out a romantic side no one knew existed. Like having a Gold Coast hotel take part in a charade to make sure that Fran thought she was going to a conference where Gordon would actually propose. Gordon shipped in their favourite wine, unfortunately the wrong place, and hired a photographer to take long-distance photos so they'd always remember the event. It's a side of Gordon that could only come out because he has found the woman he truly loves.
If anything, Fran has passed on some of maturity to Gordon to help him settle down, clipped his wings perhaps. A world of love for each other is clearly two-way. I think Gordon has come to rely on Fran perhaps as much as any other person in his life, including his mum. This was best demonstrated to Connor and myself when we went for dinner recently without Fran. Gordon seemed to be taking forever to order his food and finally admitted he was a bit lost. He hadn't ordered his own food for months, he told us. The boss usually does this.
Gordon's reliance on Fran wasn't any more obvious than when she went back to the UK for a short period of time. He couldn't help himself, and suddenly Fran found Gordon on her doorstep twice in less than a few weeks. We're pretty sure Fran pretended to be happy, but we're also very sure that Fran missed her alone time.
In all seriousness, though, Connor and I cannot be happier that Gordon and Fran found each other and cemented their love today in front of their friends and family. Fran's the best thing that's happened to Gordon, but we all know she's the one wearing the pants in the relationship. and is slowly but surely turning Gordon into her own little man from the Only Way is Essex. that is not a bad thing, because Gordon's fashion sense has improved tenfold. I know we haven't seen Gordon happier than he is today. He's one lucky man.
It's been a privilege for James and I to be Gordon's mates over many years, and an honour to be his best friend. It's been fantastic helping him for his big day, and organising his wild Hawaiian stag do, complete with outlandish and colourful shirts that fly off balconies, lost identification, very drunken brother-in-laws, and sex toys. But that's probably a story best left for a drink over the bar.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join Cora and I to toast the happy couple. We wish you both continued happiness and hope marriage is everything you wish to be, or desire to be, and more.
Gordon and
Fran.
Fran.